Thank you so much for joining us tonight to talk about gun violence and solutions and strategies and challenges that we're all facing in America today, especially educators. So, Abby, would love to hear from you some takeaways, your biggest takeaway from the night.
Well, thank you so much for having me and for talking about Teachers Unified to End Gun Violence. Look, gun violence impacts every teacher, every school staff member, every parent, every family member in the United States. There is no time like the present to get involved, to join us, because we know you are outraged. We know that you're afraid, and we very rarely hear from the educators who are on the front lines of this public health crisis. So, as much as the news cycle makes us sad and angry and want to just lay on the couch, I get all that, but we are stronger together and we are building a coalition of voices, and we really hope that you will join us.
Thank you so much, Abby. So, Adam, I really want to thank you for joining us tonight and lending your legal expertise, because it's something that comes up a lot, unfortunately, in this landscape of teaching right now. And I'd love for you to share your takeaway, your biggest takeaway from the conversation tonight.
Thanks, Sari, for both inviting me on and letting me speak. And it was so gratifying to be among so many concerned educators, parents, and I understand some students as well, and even school board members, because this is something that profoundly affects everybody. And if it hasn't affected you in the past, thank goodness, but it will affect everybody in this country sooner or later. In fact, after the Nashville shooting, there was a woman that was on television that took over a Fox News broadcast that had been the victim of a prior shooting in Illinois, a mass shooting, and then went on vacation to Nashville to be subjected to that. Fortunately, not a victim there, but in close proximity. And you struggle to think, what can we do? Talk to people, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, get them to understand how important this is. Yes, the guns and controlling the guns sensibly are a huge issue. Not everybody will agree with you, but everybody has to agree that this must stop. It has to stop. And we must come to a consensus. We can do this. We've done it before. And I know that we will do it again. And I'm praying that it is quickly, but I know it will be done. There are too many people that are reasonable and intelligent to address it.
Yeah, and my biggest takeaway is just from seeing all the concerned and activated teachers, school staff members, and teacher supporters in our conversation tonight. And it's just a constant reminder that, like what both of you were saying, that there will be a change. There are more of us that want common sense gun control, who don't want to live in fear every time we enter a public space or leave our homes, or maybe even enter someone else's home, that we might be the next victim. It's such a dark thought, but it's a realistic one, unfortunately, living in America in 2023. So it is inspiring to me to see all the teachers who are in the conversation tonight, and school staff members, and all the students who flooded the State House in Nashville yesterday, even it might be happening today too, probably. And I heard my students excited about potentially upcoming walkouts that not there. And, young people tend to be somewhat apathetic. Even I know Gen Z is known for being the most activist group, but like teenagers, generally speaking, are still pretty apathetic. But I've noticed that when gun violence comes up, they're not apathetic. And I think that that's both depressing, but inspiring, that we will have change. They will vote people out who are not trying to make a difference. So I find that inspiring, although it's pretty depressing when you think about it, but there are moments of hope, and tonight was one of them. A big takeaway from the work we've been doing over the past year plus, Abbey, Sarah, and I, and our ambassadors, and is the fact that we've had such an overwhelming response from teachers who want to join Teachers Unified to End Gun Violence. I want to ask Abbey to share a little more about our survey and the work that we're doing around that. But I will say that from the day we launched, there were so many people who immediately said, finally, and joined us and shared our mission with other people. And we're just getting started. So Abbey, I wanted you to share a little more about the work we're doing and our survey.
Thanks, Sari. Yeah, I think connecting with teachers and organizing in like a person-to-person way is still the most effective way in terms of a movement that we know is long, which is gun violence. And so I've been really inspired by the educators I spend my days teaching, my evenings reading the surveys, and I hope that you out there who work in schools or retired, who have family members who work in schools, will pass around our survey. And it's a way for us to connect with you, to find out who you are, what you're worried about, why this issue is important to you. And it has been really fascinating. It invigorates me every day to read what you're saying in there, what the educators are saying, that they are passionate about making change and that they will do what it takes. And they're so excited to join this coalition of educators that we really haven't heard from. So we hope that you will join us, go visit our website, maybe share a quote with us for us to amplify, because your voices are what's important in this space. We are the bridge connecting the gun violence prevention movement and educators and school staff across the country. So thank you for having me.